After 5 rounds of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship, with over 940 kilometres of gravel and tarmac stages across New Zealand, the final battle will take place on the roads of Wairarapa. 3 drivers have a realistic chance of being crowned champion. Ben Hunt is the young rookie in the top class. He's scored 1 win and 3 podiums this year, but his Group N car lacked outright pace. Richard Mason is on home turf, has 4 New Zealand Gold Star Championships and won the last round. Hayden Paddon has just 2 championship titles, but has kept in the points despite missing 2 rounds. But he is hungry for this win as he heads to the WRC in Europe. 9 stages on gravel stands between victory or defeat at Racetech Rally Wairarapa. It's a spring weekend in Wairarapa for the final round of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. Centred around Masterton, the area has rich farmland. Nearby Martinborough is the centre of a world-class wine region, and there's even a Stonehenge. Built in 2005, it may not be as old as the original, but you can experience concerts and celebrate ancient and modern astrological studies in a peaceful, rural setting. Prepare for the peace to be shattered as Rally Wairarapa offers 9 stages of gravel county roads as a fitting challenge for the final championship round. Friday night saw drivers and supporters gather for a mayoral welcome before the top 5 chose their start positions. Graham Featherston was fastest at the round 5 power stage, so he chose first, 5th on the road. All eyes on Richard Mason, who chose 4th. That left Cox in 3rd, Hunt to take 2nd, and Paddon running 1st on the roads with thick gravel.
I think number 1's probably the best place for us. Obviously, being at the front of the field, you get to control the day, you get to control the others. Obviously, don't have to worry about the dust and if others are having issues. So, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to give us a nice clean run, and the car's going well. And I'm saying that there is some gravel, but there's certainly not as much as what there's been here in the history as well. So, you know, we're reasonably happy with the position.
We're not going to catch Hayden or Richard. They drove a Group N car as hard, if not harder, as what I did, and now their cars are obviously a lot lighter and more power and all that, so we'll just do our own thing and make sure we get to the finish and finish every K of this season, and we can't ask for much more. Our goal was to finish in the top 6 of every rally and finish everything, so we've achieved that so far. If we can make sure we do it tomorrow.
Mason is banking on a swept road at position 4 to give him an advantage.
You know, we're in the North Island, and you know, central North Island, generally speaking, has quite a bit of gravel. And to be honest, a lot of the roads are not super gravelly. The last 2 are, but before that, you know, it's not out of control. It's no different than we've had in the past, and we've run first on the road. But we're given a choice, and so because we're given a choice, we chose to go 4th on the road. And you know, we might get a few different lines to look at.
So let's look at how the drivers' points stack up going into the final. Drivers must drop their worst round of the 5, so Hayden Paddon is still on top with 100 points, Mason just behind in 95, Hunt has 91, and West is the outside chance on 77. 7 a.m. Saturday morning, and it's going to be hot and fine as Hayden Paddon heads to the stages. Let's check out our BNT stage preview.
Hi, I'm Sarah Mason with the BNT Stage Preview, coming to you from the co-driver's seat. Stage 1, Homewood, a great road to start the rally with. Starts in the forest where there could be a bit of lingering dust. There's not a lot of flow to this road until once we're over the ridge.
Beautiful day here in Rally Wairarapa. Sun is shining, dust is going to be a problem. Hayden Paddon's first on the road. He won't have the dust problems, but he will be doing a lot of the road sweeping. Who's made the best choice? We're yet to see. It's going to be good to see the results of stage 1, and they're going to be on it from the beginning.
So, will the road conditions dictate the pace of the rally? That's the question that will be answered by the end of stage 1.
Road conditions and running order, it's going to be a big call today. Hayden doesn't have any problems with dust, but that's thick gravel. He's going to have not as much grip, and he's kicking up a lot of dust.
And was that a little bit of fog there just where he left?
It's early in the morning, it's a very still morning, and on the way to the stage this morning we were caught in fog ourselves, so maybe there is some fog hanging around in the valley.
So, is the dust going to hang around for the next car through, do you think?
This stage is going to play a big part because it is early in the morning, so there's not much breeze up, and it's going to affect the following competitors.
Now, Hayden's put quite a bit of work in this car in the past 3 weeks, bringing it back up to scratch after the Possum Bourne rally where it got a bit wrecked. Is that going to be playing on his mind?
No, Hayden always does a lot of work between rallies on his own car. That gives him confidence it's going to be right.
All right, very relaxed, and 12 minutes 53.9. Second on the road, Ben Hunt, he's away, and you can still see the fog in the background.
Wow, look at this dust. That makes it very, very difficult to see. You have to trust your pace notes, but even then it's still going to make it more difficult.
What is the gap between the cars for that dust to hang around quite a bit?
They only have 1 minute, and that's not a huge amount of time between cars, and it certainly can linger when there's no breeze. But that's a big moment because he had all 4 wheels off onto the grass there. Just lucky there was no culvert or anything laying in the grass.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on this and see just how much that is going to cost Ben here. And that's 13 minutes 21 seconds. Sloane Cox and Sarah Coatsworth next up. Sloane just a part-time championship competitor this year.
Sloane's been adapting to a new co-driver. He used to have his sister in the car, but Sarah's stepped up this year and they're gelling really well together. Look at that front wheel off the ground. He's going hard.
Long 7 left, tight and 6 minus, late 80.
Oh, he's a bit side. Oh, that's a big spin, fast 5th gear spin.
Yeah, and this could be trouble for Richard Mason, who's just a minute behind.
Yeah, well, it's going to take some time to get that car around and going in the straight direction. So Richard's going to get caught under some dust anyway. It's only going to be worse.
Long 4 left, double apex. Repeat gravel, long 4 left, double apex, 30.
So here we go.
Long 3 right, minus.
Richard knows these stages well.
And 5 left, double apex, over. Repeat long.
Oh.
That's not a good start to the stage. This first stage is critical. He's got to get down a good time.
And that's cost him about 10 seconds.
He won't be happy. It's not the way to start this rally. Look at that dust. How can you see anything through there? And that's very, very fast.
And there we go, 13:25.9. He's lost 32 seconds, and he knows it. Chris West suffered a mechanical failure at the previous round, and while he finished the event, the loss of points has made it almost impossible for him to claim a championship win.
They have been finding some good speed towards the second part of the championship, and it's a long off-season. It's nice to go into that off-season with a very good result, so who'll be pushing on?
And West starts with 13 minutes 42.8. Emma Gilmore and Glenn McNeil missed the Possumbourne rally in order to regroup after engine problems with the new Suzuki Maxi, but they're back with a 1600cc turbo engine.
Yeah, that's down 200 cc's from what they started the season with. Yet to see how that affects the car, but of course with the turbo, the capacity is slightly less as important, so probably all about the reliability getting into the car.
Well, shocking dust here at the finish line. Will that affect the time? 13:52.1. That's about 9 seconds slower than West. Coming up on Rally Nation, Mason fights back. Dean Buist fights for his title in the Historics, and Glenn's in the service park as the drivers make their tyre choice.
Stage 2, Castle Hill. An interesting stage with a few changes in rhythm. The road starts off fairly fast, it tightens up in the middle with great flowing corners and plenty of cuts required just to get the lines right for maximum speed.
Castle Hill is a classic Wairarapa stage, and once again Hayden Patton laying down a trail of dust for the others to follow.
That's a lot of dust, but just look at those roads, look at the car moving around. Everyone goes rallying to go sideways, so even though he won't be too happy about losing time, he's having a good time with sliding
all
that
over
thing
the
around.
grass, isn't he? Using everything.
He's a professional, very committed.
Finish.
Coming onto the tarmac now, that'll reduce the dust for Ben Hunt. And the time coming up, 13:59.8.
Weird feeling in the rear.
Sorry?
It's a weird feeling. I'll put the sway bar link back on, but
Hayden not quite happy with his car through there.
Okay, on board now with Ben Hunt, and straight away we can see not so much dust here, Glenn.
No, that's surprising. Good for Ben. He's having a good attack at these roads as well. But it's good to see the dust clearing out for the following competitors.
And a pretty good time for Ben too, 14 minutes, 02.8. And Sloane Cox looking for a clean run after that wild ride in stage 1.
Yeah, he looked to be going through some dust there, so it might have just been Ben not quite as fast as Hayden. Certainly Sloane looking very, very fast through here.
And well on his way to a time of 14 minutes, 18.4. And all that gravel spitting out from Sloane's wheels is good news for Richard Mason.
And this is a very important stage for Richard. He's dropped a lot of time in stage 1. His championship pivots on this stage. If he can get some time back, it's game on for the rally. If he drops further back, he's going to really struggle.
And left. And 3 right.
Every time we've come on board this car and every time we've seen it on the outside, it's looked great, it sounds fantastic, it's making very good horsepower. And Richard's driving it exceptionally well.
And a good time for Richard too, 13 minutes, 53.7. So fastest so far, he is fighting back. Chris West, 6 on the road, so benefiting from the road position.
Yeah, with this amount of gravel round, the more cars you are back, the better road you're going to get, as long as that dust doesn't come into it.
Okay, just coming up to the finish of the last bit on the tarmac, which of course will make it easy for the other cars with no dust lurking about. And a stage time of 14:03.4. That's just a second slower than Hunt. Emma Gilmore slightly off the pace, 5th fastest in the stage.
Emma's going to be happy just to getting some good miles in.
Now Graham Featherston could have run 1 on the road, but felt more comfortable running behind Emma Gilmore. The championship rookie might have wished for less dust though.
I don't think Graham was ready to be first car on the road, and he didn't want to affect the others too much.
Reece Gardner has a new car. It's Dean Summers' Evo 9, and a big step up from his Evo 7 Lancer. Reece treating this day as a bit of a steep learning curve. Brian Green, another driver, slowed by the dust on stage 1. Richard Baddock 1 minute down on the leader in stage 1, but on stage 2 he was 7th fastest, right behind Cox.
I noticed he put new tyres on. That's the first time I've seen new tyres go on that car. He does a good job in an old car.
Here's Clinton Cunningham though, and he does a good job too.
Always well presented, he's got a good crew behind him.
The battle for the 2-wheel drive honours this year has been so close that after 5 rallies, Marsden and Campbell were less than 10 seconds apart in overall time. Marsden was fastest on the first stage. But Phil Campbell fought back on stage 2 and closed to within 10 seconds. David Holder in the older Fiesta was actually 2nd fastest in the group on stage 1, despite this spin.
David's corner speed is always so mega fast. Every now and again he's not going to quite get it right, but he's still very, very quick in this car. We were all expecting big things of him, and he hasn't disappointed.
opens. 50. That's right, minus. Opens.
Look at the sun stripe. Dust and sun, that's a lethal combination.
Dave Strong had parked his S2000 Fiesta and was running his Kiwi 2 Honda Jazz. Marcus Van Klink running first historic, and he had a 3-minute gap at the start, so benefited from a dust-free start and posted 10th overall. Dean Buist came here with a simple mission though, win the class, and he would win the historic title. And he set a stunning pace over the 2 stages to lead the class and be 7th overall.
We were standing on the first corner, and both those two guys went off. They rubbed the bank. It showed they were going to be committed and they were going to take this battle right to the end.
Jeff Judd led the class going into this rally, but trailed both Buist and Van Klink in 11th overall after the first two stages. A big historic field here with Tony Gosling returning. Scott Melville joining the championship for the final round. So some added competition for Ron Davey, the regular competitor in his less powerful Escort. Deborah Kibble also returning in her Lancer Turbo, but sidelined in stage 1 when the car lost drive. A new car in the series, this replica Celica Turbo of Barry Verco actually tied in time with Dave at the end of stage 2. So we head to surface at Ekatahuna with Patton leading by 24.2 over Hunt, then Mason, West, Gilmore and Cox. Outstanding 7th for Buist, leading the Historics. A chance for the drivers to regroup at Ekatahuna. Hayden Patton happy with his position.
Hayden blindingly fast in stage 1. Richard's got 6 seconds back off you in stage 2, and there's a fair bit of attention going on in the back of the car.
Yeah, I think we're obviously helped with the dust in the first stage. It's very, very slippery being first on the road. There's a lot of gravel, but I think I'd rather have that than the dust, but I don't think there'll be much of an issue for the guys behind for the rest of the day, so we certainly have to pick that up. We've got just a problem with a rear suspension arm in the back at the moment, so the wheel's sort of moving around a lot, so we'll get that fixed now, no problem, but no, we just need to try and push our way through this gravel, which is certainly quite thick in places, and try and up the pace.
No mechanical issues for Ben Hunt, but the strain shows after 2 difficult stages.
In that first stage it was horrific, the dust, and at the finish there we came over a crest into a 5 left, and I didn't know it was that soon, and we shot off the road and bounced around in the culverts and all that, so we nearly went chase some sheep. We thought we found a good breed to mix with the Highfield Romneys at home.
Richard, you carry all the hopes of the locals. Stage 1 didn't go quite to plan, but you fought back in stage 2.
Yeah, look, the first stage was a shocker for us. We had a spin early in the stage and then massive dust problems, and then ultimately we caught Sloan close to the end when he was had a spin himself. So, you know, like our spin at the start of the stage ultimately didn't change our time, but certainly it didn't reflect well for us.
Westy, a better start to your day than at the Possum Ball Memorial Rally?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just nice to have the Andrew Sims Mitsubishi back on, at its full pace. And I mean, what a beautiful day. The wind's starting to come through now, and we're into the mid half of the day. So reasonably good start for us.
Emma, it's been a season of learning with this new car, but you're at Service 1. Things are going well?
Yeah, I mean, the season's definitely been a bit frustration at times, but the team have done an amazing job to get the car here this weekend, and yeah, it's been brilliant. I mean, the first stage was really dusty, so didn't really want to push on unless I was comfortable with seeing the road and stuff, but the second stage felt a bit better and gave me an opportunity to see what we needed to change with the handling of the car just to get me a bit more comfortable. But it's just so cool. It's just such an amazing car. Like, it's just fun to drive. It's, it's got the response, and the suspension treble just still blows me away. I've still got to work out how hard I can push it there.
The Fiestas again producing the closest competition though.
9 seconds up after 2 stages. In Fiesta terms, that's a massive lead.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the bigger leads we've had this year, Phil, and Phil had a bit of problems in the first stage and we just capitalised on that, and now just got to keep pushing this afternoon. It's going to be close, so any little lead we've got to sort of try and push forwards.
The historic battle was all about the championship chase, and right now Jeff Judd needed to find some pace.
Yeah, there is, especially with such a close battle with Dean and, Clinky not too far behind, but yeah. Dean's got a good lead at the moment. I've got to somehow get Clinky out from between us, and then the power stage will come into it, so yeah, that could be very, very important. I feel like we're in the battle today, but Dean's just a bit of a freak really. I mean, he didn't even come and do recce, he's never been on these roads, he's just, yeah, he's bloody good.
This is one of the tyres they've used in the grouper stages this morning. They've rotated through 6. They have 10 to use for the entire day. So unlike last year, they have to reuse these tyres. Last year they probably would have put brand new tyres on at every service. Now they have to reuse them and manage the tyre wear through the day. The big difference between a brand new tyre and a used tyre, it's all in the edges. A new tyre has very, very sharp edges, and that gives you ultimate traction and ultimate grip. As you can see here, these edges have been rounded off, and this tyre is not going to be brand new. In saying that, it hasn't done too much work as well. So there's still some tyre life left in this tyre, but doesn't give the ultimate performance of a brand new tyre. Richard's gone with a 195 tyre, which is better in the slippery gravel, but ultimately has less rubber on the road. So it's going to be interesting to see what tyres they use in the later stages, swept roads, repeated stages, whether they go to a wider tyre this afternoon.
Coming up, meet the marshals. Can Richard Mason claim back his home stages, and service park drama as the cars are pushed to the limit?
Stage 4 and 6, North Road. A fantastic stage, hard gravel based and fast and flowing with some really tricky tarmac sections. These can get very interesting on gravel tyres.
There was a short delay at the start of Stage 4 as Stage 3 had to be cancelled. Of course, that meant that Richard Mason now had one less stage on which to take time out of Paddon.
With so many tarmac sections in this stage, dust will be less of a problem.
Half 6 right cut.
And when you're on tarmac, you want to be first on the road. Watch these little cuts. You can see them, little cuts here and there. That's dragging grass and dirt onto the road. That's going to make it less grippy for the others.
Well, the stage record here is held by Chris West at 6:15. That was, of course, in a Group N car. So what sort of changes can we see here?
Well, road conditions can play a big part. That was on a grippy road, not as much dust and dirt.
And there it is, 6:20.9 for Hayden Paddon. Big challenge for Ben Hunt to stay with Paddon, though. His car, of course, less powerful, but he has to keep the pressure on.
And Ben will be a good guide for how fast you can go through here in a Group N car, because he's driving this car very, very well.
And on the tarmac down to the finish now, and the car just doesn't have the pace of Paddon's, though. Look at that. So the time is coming up 6 minutes and 39 dead. Sloane Cox not on the pace here either, 2.3 seconds slower than Hunt, so the top 5 slipping away from the young driver.
Yeah, but Sloane, they've found a problem with the centre diff at service, so it's not going to handle as well. It'll be more like an old school Evo 6.
Richard Mason running out of stages to catch that 24-second deficit. At least the dust is not an issue on this one.
The one thing I can say about Richard, he will never, ever give up. He's going to go for it, and until that rally's over, he's going to be giving it everything. Right
down to the line there, the finish, it's 6 minutes, 23.3, so he loses another 2.4 seconds, but moves past Hunt into second place. Chris West, the stage record holder, but obviously the conditions are slower this year. And West 5 seconds slower than Paddon, but so he is picking up the pace. Emma Gilmore starting to show some positive form in her reformatted Suzuki.
To 5 right plus.
That's a big moment. She talked about finding the limits of her suspension at service, and I think she's found some.
Car certainly sounds a bit more active.
They've gone down in capacity to 1600cc, and that means to make the power and torque, they're going to use more revs. That's why you can hear it on the stages.
30.
It looks like a lot more fun to drive too.
This car is a lot of fun. It's purely passive. There's no active diffs in this car, which means you have to throw the car around to get the speed out of it.
Well, 4th fastest on the stage, making her 5th overall. And the big battle in the rookies with Graham Featherston and Richard Baddock trading times. And despite being older cars and lacking the experience on these roads, they're virtually tied in a battle for 8th place, with Baddock having the upper hand by a slim 0.2 seconds. Brian Green on a similar pace and slowly making progress up through the field after dropping time on stage 1.
All sports require volunteers. Rallying's no different. It does require special commitment from these volunteers, and whether it's the beginning of stage, end of stage or block marshals, the events couldn't run without the volunteers. It's a good way for these people to get up close with the stars of the sport.
Mal Clooney leads a group of volunteers who work in race and rally.
You're certainly a face that's well known to drivers who come and do these events.
Yeah, well, I guess we've been around a while, and most of the drivers have a bit of confidence when they see the same people at different events. That's what it's all about, is getting there and just spending your time. It's our sport too, you know, as much as a competitor.
And it's a very good way to be part of that sport, isn't it?
It's a fantastic way of being part of it, whether you're an ex-competitor or a wannabe competitor. It's a part, you know, to get to know the sport, to get to know the people and the policies and that sort of thing. It's a fantastic way of seeing the country as well. Once again, as a volunteer, it's not because I've been here for years. Anyone can do it, and the fact is, if you've got the interest and you're sort of prepared to learn, then it can take you all sorts of places. V8 supercars, A1 GP, all these things that have been here in New Zealand or are overseas. It opens up those doors for you at all sorts of levels.
If you want to volunteer on motorsport events, go to motorsport.org.nz and click on the volunteers link.
Stage 5, Mangamahoe Central. Tight and twisty uphill at the start, this stage is heavily gravelled and one of the more technical of the rally, with a very narrow section at the end that has tightening corners to catch drivers out.
And what an awesome stage it is, one which would be crucial to the rally outcome.
While Stage 3 was cancelled, this is a repeat of that road. The top 7 cars went through before they knew it was cancelled, and so the road has swept off a bit. Hayden is on a cleaner line.
Oh, a bit of a moment there for him though.
Yeah, he's still going. He's really into it.
30, K right to the 7 left, tightens half, 4 plus.
So this is the final corner of this fantastic stage in Paddon. 9 minutes 59.9. He smashes the stage record by 14 seconds.
Hayden, you're continuing to take little bits of time out of everyone.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, it's a bit cleaner this time through, but something's wrong with the front left now, so we better go have a look and see what's wrong.
So, maybe problems for Paddon and still another stage before service. Meanwhile, Ben Hunt just putting up a huge effort to stay with Mason and Paddon. And nice to see you with a day like this. The spectators coming out to see the rally.
What you can see here is a clear line through the gravel. Ben's going to benefit from grip, but of course he still doesn't quite have the power of the cars up the front. But some of these great shots do show just these are real drivers' roads.
Okay, coming up at the end of the stage, and it's 10 minutes 16.5.
Still dropping little bits of time to Hayden, but we all know how good he is, and to be this close, you're doing a very good job.
Yeah, look, we're in a Group N car and Hayden's a world-class driver, so we're pretty stoked to be up where we are, so we'll just keep plugging away and just keep nudging along at them.
Sloane Cox next on the road, but remember, he does have a problem with that centre diff.
And let's see if that costs him time.
Cut rocks to right, tighten.
He's drifted really wide there. I don't think he heard the don't cut, and that's off-put him. He's gone wide and almost taken out that fence.
We'll see how he recovers to finish, though. Time's not too bad. That's going to be 10 minutes 16.8, just a second away from Hunt, and he holds 6th overall. The real challenge now on for Richard Mason, running out of stage kilometres to catch Hayden Paddon. His championship chances are relying on winning the rally.
Yeah, Richard needs to take time every single stage. He had a very bad start to the rally in stage 1, and he really needs to keep chipping away at that lead.
Right, let's have a look at the time. On the final corner again, 9 minutes 58 dead, a new stage record.
Richard, you certainly arrived into control close behind Sloane. You've done a very good time in there. Looks like you're taking some time out of Hayden.
Yeah, a few seconds out of Hayden. Looks like he got us on the one before by a couple, so, you know, we're going to have to make a bit of inroads in what he's been doing.
Chris West had been 14 seconds behind Hunt at the start of the stage. Now he had the opportunity to close the gap.
Remember, stage 3 was cancelled, but this is a repeat, and Westy went through flat out in stage 3. He's full of confidence and going good.
Well, 10:05.7, he'll be happy with that. Emma Gilmore, 4th fastest on the stage with a 10 minute 14. So pace of this car very similar to our old Group N car in the hands of Ben Hunt. A second run through North Road now, and if Paddon has got a problem, he could be vulnerable here.
Well, Paddon's only got a 23-second lead, and that's not a lot of time in a rally. It can all go at a heartbeat. A puncher, a spin, and you have no lead. And the prize at the end of this rally is the National Rally Championship.
6 left minus.
Oh, a bit of a moment there for Paddon.
Right. Front
Oh, could be another problem, but a fast 6 minutes 15.4. Hunt again unable to keep pace with Paddon, but not that he wasn't trying though.
Ben's done a great job all year. I'm looking forward to when he's got a bit more power next year and really takes it to the leaders in the NZRC. Just look how the car's dancing. Gravel's all about keeping the momentum, and the car just dances on the road.
Sloane Cox only 6th fastest and 15 seconds off the pace, so obviously that centre diff giving him some problems. Hayden Padden set a blistering pace for Mason to follow here.
This is the best example of what's so good about these new cars. Just look at this.
Right on the edge, so focused. And the time? 6 minutes, 15.2, 2/10 faster than Padden. Now West with a chance here to catch Ben Hunt. He only trailed by 4.6 seconds at the stage start.
And this is not good for Ben Hunt. Hunt needs to finish third, or at least be in that position, so he can make use of any problems of the front two and claim that national championship.
And look at this, 6 minutes, 18.7. He moves past Hunt to third overall.
And these repeated stages are very good for Emma Gilmore, fine-tuning the handling of this car and just getting more quality stage miles in.
Time's also improving for Graham Featherstone, picking up more confidence on the repeat stages. The fast nature of the North Road suits his car, and he heads to service in 7th. Bannock slipping back while still 8th overall. The gap was out to 27 seconds. Clinton Cunningham, the next of the Class 1 contenders. A good performance in the oldest car in the class and looking like a positive end to his season. But he was under pressure from Brian Green, the veteran making up time on every stage and now 11 seconds back from Cunningham. Impressive performances again from the Fiestas in the two-wheel drive battle. Josh Marsden has found the pace he needed when it counted, finishing the morning in 12th overall. Campbell faces the same challenge as Padden and Mason, win the class and win the championship. But on stage 6, he made a rare mistake and very lucky just to escape with a time loss.
Well, whilst that looks a little bit funny, the truth is the camera angles, he had to lose before that corner, which has put him off.
But the standout performance was coming from David Holder in the older model car. On stage 5, he was 13th fastest and beat both Marsden and Campbell. Going into the second service, he was actually ahead of Campbell by 14 seconds.
What impresses me every time we go on board this car, how much time he's got. It shows he's good. Just look at it, he's not rushed. It's so fast and so committed, but he's not rushed at all.
Dave Strong was finding a rhythm in the Honda and now trailed Campbell by 30 seconds. But a real giant-killing drive from open two-wheel drive exponent Tony McConaughey in the Hayabusa Starlet, now 14th overall and leading the class.
And the other Toyotas in this class, David Ralph and Hamish Anderson, having a good battle between themselves.
Dean Buist continued to lead the historic class, but while the Escort had easily been fastest on the tighter stages, this group of roads was suiting the Mazda RX-7 of Marcus Van Klink. Van Klink set new stage records for two-wheel drive cars on stages 4, 5 and 6. After trailing Buist at the first service by 20 seconds, they would head to service 2 just 1.3 seconds apart. Unfortunately, this hot pace at the front of the historic class was making Jeff Judd's championship prospects very difficult.
Well, Buist is cleared out in the front of this class. Juddy needs to be second and then win the power stage to be the classic champion.
Judd finished the morning trailing Van Klink by 55 seconds. Hayden Padden returns to Ekatahuna with a 26-second lead over Mason. West now third, 6.4 ahead of Hunt, and that historic battle now really close with Buist in 9th, Van Klink in 10th. But a dramatic change at service as Hayden Padden swapped race overalls for mechanics.
We're hearing, and it's certainly looking like a gearbox change. Was there some signs of that in the previous stages?
No, it's not a gearbox, it's only the front diff. The last stage and a half we've done with effectively very little front drive.
So a nervous time for Team Green while Richard Mason makes a critical tyre choice.
We've saved 4 brand new tyres to run the last 3 stages. In fact, we've actually got a couple of second-hand ones we'll run on the first stage after service on the front, and then we'll put 2 brand new ones for the power stage, which is DAGs. And we'll have really good rubber for the last 3 stages. There's heaps of gravel on the road. And we've just sort of had to suck it up a little bit time-wise in the last sort of 4 stages. So
you know, hopefully now's our time.
Ben, you're in a pretty tight battle for third place on the podium.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting. We had quite a good lead on Westy over the morning, and these last 4 repeat stages, we've lost quite a bit of time to him, and he's snuck ahead of us. Like, they're quite fast stages for a Group N car. It's probably one of those days you're wishing you got a bit of weight taken out of your car, and have got a 36mm restrictor in, but you know, we're loving it, and if you're comparing it to some of the Group N records, then we're right on them, you know, so that's one good thing. So yeah, we'll have to look forward to next year and just make sure we get the car home today.
Well, good news for Hayden Paddon. He got his car back ready for the stages. A great effort by the team in just over half an hour.
We talk a lot about power and how much power a car makes and how it sounds. A lot of the speed in the rally car comes down to these things: suspension and all the setup. What we're looking at here is the front strut and shock absorber, and in this car it doesn't sit on top of the hub, it comes past it, which enables the shock absorber to have more travel, and the car will handle bumps bigger and better. So this is a new development in National Rally Championship, this style of car, and we're getting used to seeing a lot more wheel travel, a lot closer to what we'd see in the WRC.
Stage 7, Manga Aringa. This road starts off fast and heavily gravelled before meeting up with a stage run earlier in the day. It will now be hard and grippy. After a left-hand turn over a bridge, we come back on to very heavy gravel. Twisty for a few kilometres and then opening out to a fast finish.
Fresh tyres, a new centre diff. Paddon is on attack, but now he faces another road with lots of gravel.
Well, this is not a repeat, so Hayden's pioneering through this stage. He'll be sweeping away a lot of gravel. Gravel and road position, it's all about tactics. But it is fun when there's lots of gravel around because the cars move around a lot. It looks spectacular.
And let's see the stage time, 8 minutes, 07.8. For Ben Hunt now, the mission is to get third place back and secure another podium position.
Well, these stages are not going to suit a Group N car, but Ben's been on the podium 3 times, and we've seen a lot this year that anything can happen in a rally.
Well, down to the finish, and we expect this to be slower than Mason. Actually, it's a lot slower, 8 minutes 25.1. Another 10 seconds slower for Sloane Cox, so that will leave him in 6th. But he has helped Richard Mason by sweeping off that loose gravel. It seems almost impossible that Richard Mason could make up 24 seconds over 3 stages, but one small mistake by Paddon is all it would take. Mason has to push as hard as he dare.
This is why Richard went 4th on the road. He wants to get the best from this road, and if anyone can do it, Richard Mason can do it in Rally Wairarapa.
8 right, 55 left over finish.
And this is looking good.
15. Wow, that was cool.
Sarah's happy with that one. 8 minutes 0.29, that's 4.9 seconds better. Chris West on a mission now to hold the podium spot. No championship chance, but he will want to finish the season on a high note.
It's always good to finish the year with a good result, and these roads, just really drivers' roads. Westy's going good this rally. And this is an Evo 10. Westy has been an Evo 9 before this, but the Evo 10 is such a different car to an Evo 9. It's taken him and the team all year to get on top of this car, but it's really, really going well.
All right, Ben Hunt's stage time was 8 minutes 25. Can West increase the gap? It's 8 minutes 18. He holds 3rd overall. Emma Gilmore, 5th overall, and now 41 seconds behind Hunt. But this has been valuable seat time, and so far without any technical issues with the smaller engine.
That's using all the road.
And Graham Featherston now looking like he's on his way to securing the rookie title.
Stage 8, Dags, the power stage. A challenging little stage with plenty of long corners, making it quite different to most of the rally. It also has a lot of heavy gravel from recent forestry operations.
Paddon at the start. At stake is 5 bonus points and the New Zealand Rally title.
K left, 180.
This is Dags Road. Dags Road is well known, always lots of gravel. but a very technical stage and a great stage to be a power stage.
6 right, that's open. 5 left tightens late of a finish.
And Hayden's still giving it everything.
And the stage record, 9 minutes 39, set by Emma Gilmore last year. And Padden down to the line. He's not going to set a record, 9 minutes 58.2.
Right.
Ben Hunt hasn't come through the first split, and here on board with Sloane Cox, you see why. That's Hunt at the roadside, parked up and out of the rally. Well, let's see what Cox can do.
And Sloane would love to win a power stage. Just look how close he gets to that bridge. He's really having a big charge through here. Diff or no diff, he's into it.
4 late, finish 50.
All right, now look at that stage time. It's 10:14.2, so he is second to the stage, but that could all change.
This has to be a big charge for Richard. He needs to make up time in the rally and win the power stage. That was too big a hit not to damage a suspension or a tyre.
Long 4 left, tightens, finish. That's a long 4 left, tightens.
Well, still looks like a good time, though. 9:59.3. Boy, what might have been there, eh?
These things happen.
Sorry, I can't blame anyone on that one.
These things happen when you're pushing hard, okay?
I looked at it.
Can Chris West do anything to stop Hayden Padden from clean sweeping here?
Well, road position's going to count here. Westy's down a little bit. And also, Chris West is a very good sprint driver and very, very fast. So power stage is really going to come to him. But he wants to be careful not to punch her like Mason did.
6 right minus and 5 right plus 30.
Just look how much pace he carries into this corner. He's really got the Evo 10 going well, and it's a big, heavy car.
And heading for the finish now. This looks good. 9 minutes 56.9. That's fastest.
Well, so far you're winning the power stage.
Oh, mate, it's that's the biggest consolation prize of all year. So, I mean, boys said to me, you need to go out and win the power stage, but I mean, hey, there's a lot of gravel in there, so you know, expect the times to plummet severely. But I mean, the car felt good. I was just trying to keep it clean and tidy, and yeah, obviously it pays off, eh?
Well, Emma Gilmore, record holder on the stage, and she hasn't been far behind the pace of West all day. So could this be a great end to her season?
130, 7 right, 30 brake, 4 left plus.
Whoa!
That's a fast spin.
How did it step out like that?
I don't know.
Bit of a lucky moment.
The front diff broke just into that stage in 4th or 5th gear, and I thought we were going over it, just let go, and we just did a huge spin. Like, I thought it was going to tip, but thankfully for a lot of suspension travel we didn't. We were lucky.
Richard Baddock took the final top 5 place on the stage, 4th fastest with 10 minutes 09. So West gets 5 points, 4 for Padden, and the championship is all but there. Power stage was also key to the historic result. Buist had to win the stage to take the championship, and he laid down another stunning time, 10 minutes 20.3. Marcus van Klink had lost 6 minutes off the road on stage 7, which dropped him out of contention. But that meant Jeff Judd now had a chance if he could win the power stage, but it was not to be. So Buist confirmed as champion.
Stage 9, Te Parai Road. A short blast along a nice flowing road. There is a lot of camber on these corners, so it's important to keep in on exits. A fantastic stage to finish the season with.
So after 6 rallies, the 2013 season comes to a close. David Holder with his best result in the Fiestas, 12th overall and 2nd in class. Phil Campbell, not finding his normal pace on this rally when it counted, finished 3rd in class, 23 seconds behind Holder. So Josh Marsden would take out the class title after what had been an incredibly close battle. Clinton Cunningham finished 9th overall and would be 3rd in the Rookie Challenge. Richard Baddock had made a late season change in form, but not quite enough to be the top rookie. That honour going to Graham Featherston, rewarded for consistency as well as outright pace over the 6 rallies and 5th overall here. With Gilmore losing time, Cox would finish the rally in 4th.
Right on pole 50, 7 right plus.
I love every shot we see of Sloan. It's going to be great to see him back in the full championship next year.
3rd overall for Chris West, and with the power stage points, he would finish 3rd in the championship.
Short left into 4 right minus.
That decision to run 4th on the road may well have cost Richard Mason his title, but he had fought hard all day to finish 2nd.
And I don't know about the road position thing. He showed he really had the pace to come back this afternoon, and without that puncher, it was going to be close.
The dust-free run may have seemed like a gift for Padden, but to manage a busy service park repair and still come out on top meant that Hayden Padden and Team Green really earned the New Zealand Championship title and the rally win.
6 right minus, 36 left minus. Well done.
Good job.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So a quick look at the results confirms Padden the win from Mason, then West, good effort from Featherston and Baddock, and Dean Buist outstanding in 7th, Josh Marsden in 10th, and Tony McConaughey 1st of the Open 2-wheel drives in 11th.
Well done on a great day rallying. Wasn't without its battles, but 3rd NZRC title.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a huge credit to the team. The amount of effort that's gone into this car this year, and the guys who've been holding it together throughout the rallies have just been doing an amazing job. And this one's certainly for them. And today was no different. We had our problems, and being first on the road, other than the dust on the first stage, was a real battle. And I've never struck conditions quite like it. It's been so slippery. But at the end of the day, we got the end result that we needed. And it's just, as I say, huge credit to the team and the sponsors and everybody behind us.
Richard, you put on a massive charge this afternoon. Commiserations for not winning the rally, but a big congratulations on your efforts this year.
Yeah, look, we've actually had a really great year. We've had lots of problems, but the car's been really fun to drive, and we've really enjoyed the championship. And really big thing for us was to be competitive with Hayden today. I think if we took the first stage out of it, then we had the better of him the rest of the day. So one stage, that's the way it goes. It's motorsport.
Josh, after a very tight championship, the Battle of the Festas has gone to you.
Yeah, absolutely stoked. We've worked so hard this year, and Phil, to his credit, has pushed us really, really hard, and he's won a few rallies, and the battle's just been amazing. So I'm absolutely stoked to get the win in the end.
Confirming the championship winners, Hayden Padden, 1st overall and New Zealand Rally champ. In the New Zealand 2-wheel drive, it's Josh Marsden. Graham Featherston, the top rookie, and he won the Class 5 title. Some consolation to Ben Hunt, who is crowned the junior champion. And Dean Buist, the historic challenge winner. Time for our champions to celebrate and look forward to the next challenge. For New Zealand champ Hayden Padden, it's WRC Spain and his first attempt at a full-spec WRC for the Abu Dhabi Ford team. I'm Nick Brown, and on behalf of Glenn Inkster and the team here at Rally Nation, we look forward to bringing you more Rally Nation soon.